Aloha, everyone. Aloha. Mike, the Gaming Roadwarrior here. And today we have Air Force Jason. Say hello to everybody, Air Force Jason.
Hello.
Let's see. Let me check real quick to see if we have anybody on the chat. Nope. Yeah, I kind of just surprised it. I let everybody know that we'd be on 1 p.m.
Cool.
So let me look here. Yeah, in today's show, we're going to be talking about our retro arcade memories. We're going to be talking about Tekken, Tekken 2, Gauntlet, as well as our movie of the week, The Last Dragon for 4K Blu Ray. And I want to introduce my guests. And Jason, I want to know what you did in the Air Force.
For the first 12 and a half years, I was security forces. And then the last bit of it, to the 15 years, I was a command post. That's what I did.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Yeah, deployed a lot.
Deployed a lot?
Yes.
And what was your job mostly? Did you do mostly security work?
Yes. When I was downrange, yes, it was a lot of security, protecting the resources, the base. I did what we like to call being a tower rat. I did that for until I made rank, and then
Yeah.
once I was the NCO, I did other stuff. But then last few years, it was doing a lot of detainee ops is what we switched over to. But yep,
Nice.
that was in northern Iraq.
Ah.
That was a pretty fun one.
What's your rank here?
I was a staff sergeant E5.
Oh, nice. Cool. And you got your what vehicle is that behind you?
That was a up armored Humvee.
Oh, cool.
And that is our 50 cal.
Yeah.
And that was
nice.
Usually it was sad because once we make E5, we get to be familiar with the weapons, but the heavy gunners are usually our E4 and below.
Oh, like me. Yeah, when I was in Kosovo, I was E4, but I wasn't the gunner. I was the comms guy, so I got the ride shotgun and the Humvee. But that is actually cool. You guys had protection there. We didn't have this kind of stuff. It was open, so it sucked to be the gunner.
Yeah, that was that was after pretty much September 11th. Before September 11th, we would have we had more of the regular Humvees with no protection, but they started, the funding came, so then were able to get more up armored, which was nice.
Okay. And then I got another picture you sent me. Can you tell us about this?
My last deployment as a security forces member, this was what was it, Bagram Air Base. We were actually that was northern-ish of in Iraq. And
okay, Iraq. Cool.
It's one of our bigger bases, and this was actually 2010, around there, 2010, 11.
Oh, nice.
And we were actually the start of the breakdown of the base. We started everything, and then other people came in to help finish up the process. But my friend, who is if you're looking at the picture to the right, Sergeant Campbell, he's the one that actually he drew up the design for that wall on the Jersey barrier, and me and the other guy to the left, Senior Airman Creighton, we helped us paint it.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, before you continue, I want to just say hello to Arcade Chaos. He's joined us on the stream. Hi, Chaos. How's it going?
Hello.
All right, go ahead, continue.
But yeah, that it took us about a week to get that jersey barrier painted, and uh, the hardest part was actually the words, the fight the base
Oh,
and everything down there at the bottom. You'd
okay.
think,
Was this during Operation Iraqi Freedom, like I was in, or you
oh,
guys went after?
yeah, it'd be the last operation.
Okay, cool. All right, folks. Yeah, just give you some insight who Air Force Jason is, and also, let me close this out. Want to let you all know that he did appear on my not streams, but this was like your first time on my stream, but you did uh, be on my videos that I had. You were Yuzo, the the DJ or the music designer in Streets of Rage 2. I remember you did that video with me, and then
Yep,
the top 10 military games.
yep,
You remember those? Yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
they're all
Jason
fun.
that did the skits with me. So I want to thank you also for being part of those skits, because I know I think it was like Feral Inferno. He said Yuzo, he was the one that was commenting on you on there. So he liked the skits that you were in. So let me pull up my picture now. Do, 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 do. All right. So background on me, I was in the U.S. Navy Seabees, which for those of you who don't know what the Seabees are, we are combat engineers for the Navy. We're mostly on land. I've never been on a ship except the tour on one. We usually fly everywhere. Or I remember I was attached with the Air Force too, because I would have to help with loading up, the pallets on the plane with the Air Force guys, since I had like a lot of our materials and stuff we need to bring overseas. So I got to help out a lot with the Air Force. That was actually pretty cool. But this picture right here, this was in Kosovo, 1999, I believe, and that's my Humvee. And then, of course, I sat in the shotgun area. Let's see if that's the driver. So I'd probably be here, I think. But yeah, I had comms. I did comms. So this was before we had like GPS. We didn't have any of that. We just had the comms and a map to kind of guide us. So I would have to read the map and let the driver know where we needed to go. And we had one guy as the gunner, and he was the E3. Uh, so E3 or below was usually the gunner, and then we could bring two more people, for the job site. So we had one, two, yeah, about five people in a Humvee. And this is the base we built in Kosovo. So we built these things. And then I got another picture. Let me pull it up. All right. There we go. This was in the back of another Humvee. This time it has like, you know, it's a cargo Humvee, in which me and my other friends, this is Tim. I forgot who this guy was, but he was an E1. So he just got there. And of course, I'm right here with my M16 rifle. Yeah, going out in Kosovo, and then we're going to another camp, hence why we're riding in this Humvee for an operation we had to do. So it was just us. It's kind of funny. You would think the army would be kind of doing guard duty for us, but we were independent, so we just brought our own weapons and stuff whenever we had like projects outside the base. So the army had their thing they were doing; they were policing the area. Well, for us, we were just we had some of the CBs get rid of the landmines, which the country was just littered with this kind of stuff. But yeah, but one of the things too, I think if Jason were to come on a stream again, I want to talk about with him like gaming memories he had in the military. So I had a lot when I was here. I don't want to share that story right now, but yeah, definitely. I thought this was actually pretty cool operation that we did. The people were super nice. I mean, every now and then we get shot, but it's just because we were mistakenly for the Russians, which they did not like. The people did not like the Russians down there. So, but as far as that goes, it was a pretty cool tour of duty. All right, let me remove that. But let me look at the comments. Let's see here. Arcade Chaos. Let me pull up his question. Did you sing that rifle song? Oh, is that what movie was that? Full Metal Jacket, right?
Yeah, only
No,
for
we did not.
fun.
We did not sing that song. That was from the movies. I don't know if the Marine Corps did. They would probably be the ones that sang it. I never named my rifle, but that's funny because when I
What?
was
How dare
yeah,
you?
it's kind of funny. Prior to me getting with the CBs, I was going to be a Navy corpsman, which is a medic. So we were watching that movie because a lot of us wanted to go be attached with the Marine Corps. So we were ready to name our rifles, and I was like, I don't know what to name my rifle. Like I was going to call it Betty or something like that, but but
That's
yeah,
what you
everybody
name your
had the
car.
yeah. or Dora or whatever, just I never had a name yet. So but no, we did not name our rifles. How about you, Jason? Did you have to do the rifle
Jessica.
song?
No,
Jessica was the
only for
name?
fun. And mine was Jessica. My rifle
Oh,
was
okay.
Jessica.
Oh, he said just kidding. No, see, Jason had Jessica for his rifle name. So
She was with me for well, for each base, you get a new rifle. Well, M4 and
yeah,
M9. So for the years that I was at each base, I would just name them the same. But
nice.
deploy with your weapons so many times, you gotta name them. Can't just not name your weapons.
Yeah, I think
That
when I was in field exercise, I had the M203. So the
Yep.
M16, for those of you who don't know, had the M203 grenade launcher at the bottom from that movie Predator. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's what he carried. So I was a grenadier in my platoon for the field exercise. But I remember that one I called Mr. Boom. Yeah, I named that one. That was actually a pretty fun weapon. But go ahead, Jason. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying you know, it's
Oh, okay. Arcade
yes,
Chaos. When
exactly.
you think of it, the weapon is your best friend, has your back. It needs a name.
Exactly. And it helps you whenever you're deployed to not forget your weapon whenever you go places so that if you start to leave, where's Jessica?
Yeah, when I was in Kosovo, that's funny you mentioned that. We weren't allowed. I mean, if you had to, leave your 16, you had to leave it with a friend. So you can't just like leave it and like, oh, I'm gonna go get my food now, right? We had to carry it on base in Kosovo. So I had to I had to have that slinged up unless, it's like, oh, it's time to eat. Then of course, if there's somebody they're done eating, then I would have them watch my weapon while I go get food. Yeah, that'd be the only time. Or I mean, even if you go use the restroom, you would have to bring your weapon with you, even shower. I don't
Right.
shower with my weapon, but I don't know if you showered with your weapon, Jason, but
No.
no.
They Mine got a different type of showering because so it wouldn't rust.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, that's our intro. Wow. But we're going to be talking about what you guys came here to talk about or listen about. We're going to be talking about Tekken. So me and Jason talked about like our favorite arcade games, and Jason mentioned Tekken as being his favorite in the arcades. So I'm going to ask you, Jason, why is it your favorite arcade game, and when did you play it?
Well, when I was a teen, you know, everybody loves and I like Mortal Kombat. It's awesome. It's a fun game. But when I loved Tekken because each character you can totally tell they have a different fighting style that's unique to them. And yeah, you can say that kind of with Mortal Kombat, but it's just the combo styles. With each character, it is a total martial arts style. So you're having to learn how to play that person in a different way. So I enjoyed it. I used to play. I forgot the character's name, but she was the Indian girl. She
Oh, Michelle.
Michelle.
I think it's
Yes,
Michelle.
she was awesome. If you learned one of her combos, it would just take almost 3/4 of your life, and then you just do a little tap, and then you're dead. The
Nice.
go-to for whenever you're playing against another person.
Yeah. And that's why it was your favorite, even though you had like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2 out there.
Yeah, it is just a challenge to learn each different person's fighting style and enjoyed it because of being a martial artist myself. It's just fun learning different styles.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, I guess I can talk about my Tekken experience. I played Tekken 2, but for the PlayStation 1. That's where I got introduced. Now I remember seeing Tekken at the arcades. I never did play those, or what was the other game? Virtual Fighter or
Virtual
Killer
Fighter, yeah.
Instinct. By that
Soul Calibur.
time, yeah, well, by that time, I wasn't interested in playing arcades anymore. I think the last one I played that I really liked was X-Men versus Street Fighter. I love that game, and then Marvel versus Capcom. So they were on our base when I was going through A school to become a corpsman before changing rates to become a Navy CB. But yeah, I remember those arcade machines. I played those Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2. Not too much 3 because I couldn't get the gist of the run mechanics. I know if I
Right.
practiced with it, I'd get better. But then I started seeing the newer games. I'm like, oh no. I seen Tekken and I seen Virtual Fighter, and just I was so used to the 2D fighting games, I was not sure how to play this. And of course, there was these little kids playing it, right? So I did try, I think, Virtual Fighter, and he just whooped me. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm too old for these games, and so I stopped playing them until when I got my PlayStation 1, and that was in the Navy when I got one when I was stationed in Rhodes, Spain. And I picked up some games, and one of those games was Tekken 2. So that was my first entry into it. And let me tell you, when I popped in that game and saw the cutscenes, I was like, I'm gonna love playing this game because it had an awesome cutscene. Who
Yeah.
the characters are on it, and I seen like characters that kind of reminded me of movie characters. Like one looked like Jackie Chan,
Yep.
and then the other one looked like Bruce Lee. And then, there's one guy, I forgot what his name, Paul. Where's the red? He reminded
Yes.
me of Ken from Street Fighter 2. So I was like looking at it, I was like, wow. And then I like some of the female characters too, like Nina. I saw her character design, and it was awesome. And I did see Michelle, that the Native American girl, Indian girl. She was on there too, and I heard she's got like really good move sets, which I remember playing her. Hers was a good character to use too. And then what was it? Who was the the bad guy in the game that turns into the devil? And it was that.
Oh,
Do you remember the guy's name?
it's on. I did,
I don't want
and
to
then I just
say
forgot.
Jin. I think Jin was on part 3,
Yeah,
which I
that
do
was
need to
like a
pick up.
son.
His son. And then what's up with the father and son throwing each other off a mountain?
Well, when you're so strong, you gotta try and destroy your son or whatever to become the best some way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was the storyline.
Yeah, that was kind of funny though. It's just I remember someone beating Tekken. So they had that one on PlayStation 1. I saw the ending to it. I'm like, what the heck? The character's the old guy. I forgot what the old guy's name is, but he's tossing his son over a mountain. Or no, when he was a kid, right? And then later on, the son in the first game, isn't it, the son throws the dad over the mountain and he lived, right?
It's been so long
Yeah,
since I
I
played them,
think
so
the second one had that reversal, and then the second game has it where the dad this time drops the son in the volcano where he's not getting out of. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's one way to end it. It's like, well, we keep living through when we get dumped over a mountain, so you're not getting out of a volcano. But yeah, that was actually pretty funny. And then what was it? Jen's mom, she's only playable in Tekken 2. So before she gets manhandled by the son on it, and of course she gets pregnant and has, was it Jen, right, in the third game? And
yeah,
then
I believe it's in the third.
Jen,
Yeah,
yeah, yep, the third one. But I haven't played the third one. I did watch a video on it, and it looks like a really fun game. I guess the characters move a lot faster. And
yeah,
then I don't know if you enjoyed this. I remember playing Tekken 2. It seems like it took the longest time to get up if you got knocked down. Remember, you're just laying flat on the
yeah. It's like this. It's like they're laying there thinking about it. Should I get up? I don't know. Okay, I'll get up.
Yeah, and I heard 3 improved on it. So yeah,
I've
thinking about
played
that, I need to get
3, and I
3.
think 4.
Oh, you played Tekken 4. Nice.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I want
Tekken
to play them
3,
all.
I do want to get Tekken 3. And I do want to get Tekken 2 again because I've been starting to build up my PlayStation 1 collection. So I did watch a guy, I forgot what that YouTuber is, but he was talking about Tekken 2 and then Tekken 1. And then maybe you can clarify this for me on Tekken 1, the bear. Did you ever use that bear character?
Yeah, I think when I was doing all the storylines, I did. I used him last. I because I didn't like him.
Wasn't he kind of OP though, overpowered?
He may. I think he was. I just didn't uh, like him.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard on the third one he's got a more funny storyline. He's trying to hit up on a panda. You remember that?
Yeah,
At the
yeah, a little
school and
bit.
he gets denied.
Yep.
Oh, let me pull that up actually. I got a picture of the, not the bear, but the game. So all right, let me share this. So there's Tekken 2. That's the one I had. Really fun game. But I heard getting these now, it's not bad. I would recommend picking these up. Now 3 seems to be the
Nice.
fastest if you get it for PlayStation 1, which I need to pick up. But yeah, I love this game. It is so fun. And I'm pretty sure the same thing with you. I mean, if someone gave you a Tekken arcade machine, you'd probably want it, right?
Heck yeah! I'd figure out how to put it in my house.
Nice. Oh, let's see. Arcade Chaos had a question. 3 is my personal favorite of the first 3. Nice. Yeah, Arcade Chaos. That's what I was talking about, Jason. It seems like 3 it was a lot faster. Now I haven't played it, but I do plan on picking that up. I do want to get that one because 2 I've had, but 3, when I seen someone play 3, it's like I gotta have that. It's a lot faster. And then the guy, or the gal, they get knocked down, they get up pretty quickly. They're not contemplating whether they should get up and get another beating or what. But they make up their mind pretty quick, which I appreciate. I have the first 3 on my PlayStation Classic. Oh, nice. Arcade Chaos.
Nice.
That is very cool. Got another question. Same thing. If
Yep.
Arcade Chaos got, yeah, of course we would. Who wouldn't want an arcade machine, right? Yeah, totally agree with you on that. Oh, what is this? Part 3 has an extra little game where we got to run down the street and fight enemies.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
forgot about that.
that mini game.
That was yes, that was fun. That was a blast. I remember that
Nice.
now.
Yeah, I saw the guy playing that. What I go, what is that? It's like a beat 'em up on a Tekken game. See, now I got to pick that up, Arcade Chaos. I definitely got to pick that up. All right, let's move on to our next subject. We're going to be talking about Gauntlet. Uh, and then I guess I can go first on that. I'm going to talk about the Gauntlet arcade game. I got to play Gauntlet at Chuck E. Cheese with I got invited to a friend's birthday party. His name was Chris, and what I loved about it was this giant cabinet, and it had like 4 controllers, and then you can be like the elf, the barbarian, and there was the Valkyrie, and then the wizard, and of course the elf. And I usually pick the elf. I like the bow and arrow. I that was my character when I got to play the game and stuff. But I remember at the arcade games, like like was it Green Elf, low on health or something like that. It would tell you these things. Do you remember
Needs
that?
food badly. Green elf
Yeah.
needs food badly. Green elf is
So let
about to
me.
die.
It's about to die. Yep. Let me pull the arcade cabinet. Tekken and show you guys what I'm talking about. You can kind of see it, but yeah, there's the machine itself, and then it's an overhead game with you can have 4 people on this. Very awesome to play. I think we played this the most. I know they had other types of family friendly games, but we weren't interested in that. It was either Gauntlet or I remember Ghostbusters being at Chuck E. Cheese as well, and we played a lot of that as well. Let's see, Arcade Chaos. I picked up Pac-Man World Repack last night for $10 on the Switch. I'm going to play it tonight for the first time. I had it when it originally came out on the PlayStation. Oh, nice, nice Arcade Chaos. Yeah, I love Pac-Man. You can't go wrong with Pac-Man.
Mm-mm.
Cool.
No.
But for Gauntlet, it was definitely a great game to play at the arcades, especially with friends. Yeah, yeah. I just remember pouring a lot of quarters, but it was cool. It wasn't my quarters. It was my friend's mom that gave us like a bucket full of quarters from Chuck E. Cheese, and we just played that a lot. But it seemed like when we were playing that game, the higher the levels we got, the more quarters we dumped into it, uh, probably on purpose, right? But it didn't seem like we were going to beat this game. Unlike when we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the arcades, we were able to beat that with the amount of
Right.
quarters we got for each kid. So all the turtles were filled up. But Gauntlet was like, geez, I don't think we're going to be able to beat this game. It was so big.
Is there even an ending to Gauntlet?
I don't know. Anybody know in the chat?
when
Maybe someone
when
who's. I wonder if it has an ending. I don't know.
yeah, because my experience wasn't the arcade; it was from the Nintendo. My friend and
Well,
I,
yeah,
we rented
yeah.
it,
Talk about that. Nice.
and we would just play it. And we just get it, get to one of our houses, and we would just from the afternoon. Sometimes we wouldn't even go to bed because stay over for the weekend and just play until like 4 o'clock in the morning until we couldn't. It's like, I don't think there's an ending to this. We're just on and on and on. And then it's like, okay, we need to go to sleep. And then we'll wake up and
Yeah.
try again.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right on that. Maybe Gauntlet doesn't have an ending. Atari's notorious for that. A lot of their games were arcade heavy, where the difficulty would just get harder and harder. But unlike those games, though, Gauntlet, it seemed it looked different when you went through the different dungeons.
Right.
So, but I'm not sure. I need to look that up because, yeah, I don't know if you could beat Gauntlet. I think you just keep going until you die, you know? So, yeah, I
Yeah.
need to look that up. I'm not
I
sure.
think the GameCube one that my wife and I played, I think that one, I think Dark Legacy, that one did have an actual storyline, and I think that one had an actual ending. I uh, just
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember. Oh, he says it does.
On the
I have to,
original Gauntlet
I have to
Arcade Chaos? Yeah, I'm not sure. If it does, it's probably long.
it's probably like you have to reach level 999.
No. Yeah. What's he saying here? Oh my god, what? If Jason just uncovered a conspiracy theory and there is no end, so that you just constantly
Yeah.
putting money into it. Well, yeah, you and I, especially you, Arcade Cast, we all know the arcade machine was designed to get as much money out of us as it can. That was its main mission. So I
And
wouldn't
I
be
definitely would
surprised.
be that kid just putting in more quarters because it'd be like, "Oh yes, I'm gonna beat this game."
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. I remember, like I said, when I played Turtles, we were able to beat that, even though we dumped a lot of quarters into that machine. But man, yeah, Gauntlet seemed like no matter how many times I feed this machine, it won't let me beat the game.
Right.
Got another one. Polybius. Arcade Chaos. I never played that. I heard about it though. Have you heard about Polybius,
Mm-mm.
Jason?
No.
It's supposed to be some sort of arcade game. I don't know if it was designed by
Hmm.
the CIA or whatnot. And it's very psychedelic, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never played this before, but I've seen the cabinets on YouTube before, and people have a lot of stories about that machine. So no, I
Hmm.
haven't played it. All right. So, on Gauntlet. So let's touch up on the other Gauntlet game. You played, what was it, on the N64 one or the GameCube one, Jason?
GameCube.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell our viewers how that was like.
Um. Well, it's really different. I mean, from night and day versus the Nintendo's over the head, because then it's like the three quarters view. You actually can see your character design. I mean,
Uh-huh.
obviously because of the leap in graphics design and everything, and
And it had those 3D graphics, right?
yeah, and so the play style, you're kind of like, well, is this Gauntlet? But it is. You got the same type of characters, and you're just running around and playing, and you got to get used to the style, the three quarters view,
Yeah.
since it's not over the head anymore, and it was fun. So much so that I'll have to get another GameCube and get that game, so that because that was out of all the games on GameCube, that was my wife's favorite, and it was also one of mine
Oh,
as well.
nice. So that's a good game for you and your wife to play then.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
if you'll excuse me, I'll be right back and open the door because my cat, I can hear it trying to want to get out. So I'll be
I was
right
like, I want
back.
to be part of this.
Yeah, I know. She wants to be part of the show. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. The cat is in.
Yay!
Oh, let's see what he. Hopefully, she don't jump in front of my desk. How cool would it be as a promotion to bring out a video game and whenever can set a world record and flip it and get kill screen wins a cabinet?
Nah, yeah, that
Wow.
would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Arcade Chaos. That would definitely be cool. But I don't think I could ever get a kill screen. There's too many people that are better. Like Pac-Man has a kill screen to it, and I think Donkey Kong. So, which I do love Donkey Kong, but I'll never be as good as those people that play Donkey Kong like a king.
Right.
All right, moving on. So we're going to be talking about our movie of the week from either the 80s or 90s. So today's subject, The Last Dragon, in which I'll let Jason decide what we're going to be talking about. And I have the 4K Blu-ray to this movie, but I want to
Nice.
go with my guest first. I want to ask you, when did you watch The Last Dragon? I mean, did you watch this in the movie theaters, and describe your
I wish I
experiences to
did.
us?
I watched that probably whenever it came out on VHS, and when I was just a little kid, and thought it was one of the coolest movies because it's pretty much about Bruce Lee and this kid that's well, he wasn't really a kid, but a young adult that
Yeah.
was that loved Bruce Lee and was following the way of Bruce Lee, and you know like any movie, you have to have the good guy, the bad guy, and then the love interest. But um, I didn't know a lick of martial arts when I was younger, so I always liked to watch martial arts movies. And this one was uh, one of my favorites because uh, also had comedy in it. With the bad guys, who's the master? Show
Oh
enough,
yeah.
with all
Shown
that going on.
off.
The Shogun of Harlem. And
Oh
so,
yeah, yes.
yeah. And then whenever he's learning and from his master how to be his martial arts, and shows him the yin yang after he catches the
The
arrow.
arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you know? I don't know, and all that. Well, your question is to come back to emptiness and all this. Learns that he has to go and learn to be the glow. That was also
Yep.
my favorite, and then he learns that there's more than just the golden glow, the bad guy's red glow. And so I was like, that was the coolest part of the show that I liked, was whenever uh, he learns the about the glow, and then he transforms and he gets the glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
an
I,
awesome part.
yeah, I don't know how many times I watched it. I watched it a lot, and I'm like now talking about it, I'm like, I wonder if I have it on one of my apps videos. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, it's definitely a really great film. Yeah, for me, I got to watch it, I think, on TV. So I watched it on TV first. I never seen it in theater. Like I wish I would have seen this movie in theater. It's so
Yeah.
amazing. But I watched it on TV, which, for those of you who grew up in the 80s and you watched it on TV, a lot of the violence was toned down. And of course, there's no swearing, right, on television.
Right.
So I had to wait till later. I remember seeing it at a video rental store, and I'm like, oh, I want to rent this and see everything that wasn't shown on TV. And that was such an amazing experience to watch that film. But I'm trying to think. One of the best moments on it was, the fight choreography on that. So for those of you who don't know the character, it's basically a African American gentleman learning, Bruce Lee's techniques, and then wanting to become. Well, I don't think, does he seem like he wants to become a master? It doesn't seem like it. It just
I
seems
think
like
he
he
just
wants to be a
wants
student.
just a student wanting to know and be the best he can, following in the footsteps of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, and it's just this, family friendly adventure, and it's also got what was it, Reyes Ernie Jr., or and he was
Ernie
that little
Reyes,
Filipino kid, Ernie
yeah,
Reyes, that little
Junior.
Filipino kid that knew martial arts, so he's in it. So for those of you who don't know, he played, I'm trying to think of his name, Kino from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He was the pizza delivery kid, but older. I think he was a teenager during that time. And of
Yeah.
course, he played another teen in Surf Ninjas. Did you watch that movie?
Surf Ninjas, yes.
It
That
had
was a good
young
one too.
Rob Schneider in it too. And then also, if you didn't know, Rob Schneider's part Filipino.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
cool.
why he was in it. He's a little bit Asian, right? But yeah, he was in that movie as well. But yeah, Last Dragon. And also another good thing about was the soundtrack. The
Yes.
Motown soundtrack that was in it. They had like El DeBarge to the what was it, the Rhythm of the Night that they
Yes.
had
Yep,
on
that
there.
was in there. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
Really
good
good
music.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you hadn't seen it, it's really good. The soundtrack's really good. It has like a really I wouldn't say it's a would you consider it a cheesy film?
I wouldn't say it was cheesy, but it nowadays it wouldn't be rated like the A plus triple A kind of thing, but I would say it was close to an A. In my opinion,
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
close to it.
Same as me, in my opinion. It was definitely a really good film. And then what you were touching on the final fight in it with them glowing, right?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of a Star Wars film
Right?
because they
Yep.
had the red, and whenever they hit each other, it felt like two
Yep.
lightsabers hitting it. So yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, but very cool. Trying to think of the guy that played Shonoff. He was a really good bad guy on it.
Oh.
Especially remember that scene where
Yeah.
they're in the movie theater and then they said, "Hey, you need to shut up" or something like that, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Why don't you come and make me shut up?" And then they had all the people in the theater try to beat him up in his
Yep.
in his gang. Yeah,
Yeah.
such a good film. All right. Oh, and last thing too. So I know I was going to touch up on this, the 4K Blu-ray. So I picked this up, and my son's never seen The Last Dragon, so I've been introducing to him to a lot of these old films, from the 80s and 90s, and he really liked this one. This was such a fun movie for him, and he was like laughing. Typically, he's a zoomer, so they're into the meme culture, but he actually appreciated the jokes in this movie. And then when I got the 4K, he wanted my I had the I think I had the normal Blu-ray to this, so he ended up keeping the Blu-ray, and then I have the 4K now.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's a really good transfer of the film. When we watched it, there was like a lot of detail, like on the faces and everything, and then
Hmm.
the soundtrack really pops when you watch the movie. When they were playing the music, I'm like, geez, it's really ripping through our speakers. And I was kind of glancing at my wife sometimes because, like, oh, she didn't say the lower down the volume. Because if it sounds bad, the audio, she doesn't
Hmm.
like to listen to it. But since it sounded so good, she didn't tell me to lower the volume or anything like that. We all enjoyed watching the film, especially the music parts on it. That was so cool on that movie. But it's definitely a movie you can watch over and over. It wouldn't be like a film. Have you ever seen the movie The Sixth Sense with Bruce
Yeah.
Willis?
Yep.
Once you find out what happens, it's like I
You're
can't
like,
watch
okay.
the film again. Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't have a repeat viewing on it since you know the surprise to the film. But for something like The Last Dragon, especially if you are a Bruce Lee fan, oh yeah, you're going to be
Yep.
coming back and watching it. It's such a fun movie to watch. Cool. All right. Well, let's move into our final thoughts. Jason, what
Hmm.
game are you currently working on?
On my PC, I am playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, nice. And I
Yeah,
heard that game's got like how many hours does it take to beat that game? Do you know?
I don't know. Um, the hours, I probably more hours than needed currently, uh, because there's people that do the speed runs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think the norm is like 80, I think 80 hours, 80, 90 hours or something like that for it.
Yeah.
I'll probably, by the time I'm done, I'll probably have over 100 hours probably before I beat it. I'm in Act
Wow.
2, and I probably have a lot more hours because I tend to each in Act 1. I pretty much tried to go the entire map.
Uh huh.
Yes, like Da Vinci Code. Once you watch it once, you don't really want to watch it again. You
Yeah,
already
yeah,
know.
exactly. From the Last Dragon film.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yes,
Arcade Chaos loves Baldur's Gate. Nice.
yes. The Boulder. I played Boulder Gate 1, 2, and now Baldur's Gate 3 is. I'm having a blast. And
Nice.
just I open up the map and I do everything that I can. And even though I've done as much as I can, there's stuff I've missed. Every time I'll look at reviews and things like that, I see things. I'm like, oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I know. And so it'll have a lot of replayability because especially since different characters you can build, and
Uh-huh.
I got kind of caught up because I love creating characters, and so I had my main character, and then I ended up creating all these other characters, so I had to delete the other ones, and now I only just have two characters. My main character that I'm running with is a uh, rogue ranger that I'm doing the storyline with, and then I just created
Is it
another one.
human or an
It
elf?
is a drow. I went with a
Oh,
drow
drow
elf.
elf.
Yes.
Who's that famous drow elf in the books in Forgotten
Dritz.
Realms?
Dritz
Dritz.
Doradin. Yes.
You know what's funny about that? Dritz, I don't know if he's on 3, but I remember him in, I think, I'm not sure if it's the first game or the second Baldur's Gate 2 or 1.
Icewind I think
Was it
it's
Icewind
the
Dale?
second one.
Yes. Yeah, I
Yes.
have that
Because
one
that's
too.
where he
Okay,
was.
cool.
Yep. That's where he was. That's his homeland area. Whenever he left the Underdark, he went to Icewind Dale.
Yeah. Arcade Chaos said I've only played 1 and 2. Uh, Same thing, Arcade Chaos. I played 1 and 2, and I also have the Icewind Dale ones. So
Yeah.
one of them I wish they would make was Ravenloft. I don't know if you've heard of that
Yeah.
AD&D game. Yes. Yep. Oh, go ahead and tell us more about 3. Your
Um.
characters.
Oh, and my other one is I think a half elf that I created. That's a monk,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to make them primarily a monk, and then I'll probably do a part rogue as well because I want to get what I don't want to remove the character that's a rogue in my team so that I can add basically another character in there.
Oh, nice. Oh, I wanted to ask you something too.
Hmm.
So Arcade Chaos mentions you're going to make me buy them right now. So, prior to you buying something like this, Arcade Chaos, I'm going to talk to Jason about this. Jason, what do you need on your computer to run Baldur's Gate 3?
Baldur's Gate 3 is you're gonna need at least an RTX 2060. It's a good. You're gonna need a good PC that can have at least RTX graphics or something. If you don't use NVIDIA graphics, an equivalent to an RTX. So anything that can run that. Mine is a older generation Threadripper. It's a first generation AMD uh, Threadripper 1920 X. So, and
Oh, nice.
I have a 3060 Ti NVIDIA.
Oh, wow. And are you
So
running 4K or 1080p, like at 60 frame or higher
I'm
FPS?
running basically a 2K, a 1440.
Oh, okay. At how many FPS?
It can run. I haven't really looked, but above probably 60.
Above 60? I love it
Yeah,
when it's above 60. So smooth.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Arcade Chaos says, and I'm emotional about it and nostalgic because of the fact that those were the good old
Yeah.
days when I used to actually get together with my friends and we would play them every week together. Oh yeah, for sure, Arcade Chaos. When I had Baldur's Gate 1, and I had that in the Navy, I had a friend when I was in Kosovo. That's when I got a laptop. He loved playing Baldur's Gate. That's who got me into playing Baldur's Gate in the first place. It's a guy in the army. He was with the Big Red One, and he got me into PC gaming. Along with, we became really good friends because he was one of the guys that came up to our area and requested we make a table for him. And I asked him, well, what do you need a table for? And he's like, oh, for my laptop, so that way I can game. And then I was interested in, like, oh, I got a fellow gamer here, because most of the guys I talk to, they're construction people, right? And they're like, I don't play video games. And then he did, it's like, oh, there's an army guy that plays video games. So I asked him, like, oh, what type of video games do you play? He's like, oh, RPGs. And I said, like, what? And he said Baldur's Gate. And I said, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's Dungeons. When he said Dungeons and Dragons, he got me hooked. It's like, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, with the pen and or pencil and paper, the dice, right, with friends. And I said, I am interested in wanting to play that game. So yeah, I ended up ordering a laptop, I think from Gateway. Yeah, it was from Gateway. And what's kind of funny, when I was putting in, online to order this, I couldn't get it to submit the order because it was in Kosovo. It's like, oh, how are they gonna mail it out here? So I had to call customer service and put in a special request. We had like a was it the military PO box number, right? Was it APO or something like that?
Yeah.
That you have to send it to, and they were able to send the laptop plus the games. I ended up getting was it Baldur's Gate. I ordered that, some sort of flight sim game, a joystick for the flight simulator game, and it was like an F-16 flight simulator, so that way I can fly an airplane. And then the last one was Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. So those were the games I got, but what I really wanted to play really was the Baldur's Gate. So yeah, when that came, I was like so shocked it came there, but that was actually awesome, getting a laptop in Kosovo when I was stationed there in the Navy. But yeah, good times on that. Have you ever played Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, Jason?
Oh yeah. I beat the first one. I think I beat the second one.
Nice.
I
Oh, and
sometimes
is who's the guy that carries the space hamster? Is he on the third game? Do you remember him?
Not on third
He's that
one.
bald-headed guy, right? He carried the hamster. You remember that guy?
No, I don't.
And he calls it his space hamster.
That
You're
might
gonna
be
go
on
look
the
him up.
second one. Yeah, I'm like, that might be the second one.
While you're looking that up, I'll answer Arcade Chaos's question. It says, my brother used to rent half of the house. He had a big double house to do beta tester. This kid used to make crazy money beta testing video games. He literally had 10 different television stations. Wow. Yeah, there's people like that, Chaos, especially when they are into computer landline parties, that kind of thing, especially in the PC community. I remember that. My son's desktop PC is a land party PC. So it even has handles on the top, and it's small where you can bring it with you. So I remember those days, especially on Xbox One, the original, or not Xbox One, but the original Xbox for Halo. And he would have parties, invite all of his friends over, and they would beta test to all these games all night and would play them because he made crazy money doing it. I always said I wanted to do it. Wow, that's cool, Arcade Chaos.
Nice.
Very cool.
Looks like the hamster is in Baldur's Gate 3. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Who's the guy, the character in that? Does it say?
Is Minsk. It looks like
Minsk,
he's
yes,
yeah.
Minsk was awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. But yeah, I loved playing those games back in the day. Oh, we got another person that showed up on the stream. Off Grid Arcade. Thank you
Hello.
for coming over and do that clap. Try that, the welcome people. I'm pretty sure you know what that was about. But yeah, back in the old when we used to have our old podcast, there'd be a guy that would clap for people. So was it? Oh my god, he just spoiled it for you. He spoiled the hamster reveal. No, he didn't. I knew he was on that game because when I was looking up the characters on Baldur's Gate 3, I know he's going to be there. So
Minsk is yes, Baldur's Gate 2, so he starts in 2. So he might be in 3. I'd have to look. I'll find out because
nice,
I'm only in Act 2.
nice. Oh, probably need to wrap. Okay, I'll talk about my experience now for Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. So like I said, I ordered 1 when I was in Kosovo along with my Gateway laptop, which was funny. The laptops back then, I mean, not the laptop itself, but the box was a cow
Yeah.
design box. You remember that? And the
Yeah.
commercials, they had the cow in the background. It's like, what did they skin a cow and make the box? But yeah, that was actually pretty darn cool. That's how I got into that kind of stuff for PC gaming, was when I was in Kosovo. And then Baldur's Gate 2. So when I got stationed in the submarine base up in Bangor in Washington State, I actually bought, if I remember right, I bought Baldur's Gate 2 there. And I never did beat it because it took me a long time to beat Baldur's Gate 1. And yeah, pretty epic, getting to the ending and finally beating the last boss on it, right? But then when I fired up 2, I'm like, oh, 2 is going to be so much better. But I didn't have time to play it because after I stayed with my parents because I was on vacation, I couldn't play my PC game anymore because it's back to work in the Navy. So I had to kind of hang it up. And then, like, when was it, 3 years ago, I ended up picking Baldur's Gate 2 and 1 up, the enhanced edition for the
Nice.
widescreen monitors. And so I have it, but I need to work and play that game because I just need to beat it. That way I can try out Baldur's Gate 3, which you seem to be enjoying a lot. But I want to get that. But I think prior to me playing that, I need to get a super duper PC. This computer is old. I think it's from 2014, 2015.
Oh wow.
And yeah, right now it's running a 980 was it the TI graphics card on it, which I just bought. And it's
Mm.
I only bought it so it can help me on my video editing when I do my YouTube videos. So yeah, I kind of need to get another. But I was also thinking getting a gaming laptop. I think I talked to you about it. Remember about what would
Yes.
be a good one to get, because Jason's into gaming laptops as much as I am. So, but yeah, that's what I got. Oh, and then my game I'm currently working on, I'm playing Dead Space for the PS5. So I went back to playing that after I beat Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. So that's the video I'm currently working on to get that ready for everybody to watch. So I should be I'll be working on the video editing on that. So but yeah, as far as the game, I'm playing Dead Space for PS5, which looks amazing. For those of you who don't know what Dead Space is about, it's a survival horror game where you're a space engineer, which I kind of think of them as a space CB in the future, right? Fixing the spaceship up in space, but at the same time, he's using what seems like engineering tools to kill the aliens on board or the creatures that he finds on board the ship. Which yeah, you can't just shoot them and expect them, oh, they're dead. You got to take out their limbs, and even that doesn't work, and they'll just crawl to you, and you got to take out the other limbs from it crawling to you, and then finally lop off the head on that game. But It's a really fun game. The reason I went back to playing it is because I need to beat that game. I stopped almost towards the end, and I haven't finished it because I've been, like I said, I was involved with that Super Metroid game. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. But anyways, it's 2:01. I'm gonna wrap out the live stream. So I want to thank my guest Air Force Jason, for joining me, and hopefully we can get him on and we can talk more about arcade games or consoles, and of course movies, which is going to be on this podcast on Tales of the Gaming Wasteland. But want to say goodbye to all you folks out there for joining us, like Off Grid Arcade and Arcade Chaos. Thank you too for stopping by. And remember, gaming's your road to adventure, folks. Take care.
See ya.